Good morning, Greenlight the Day family. I am Natalie, your guest vlogger for today. Welcome. Today I wanted to do a video response on Julie's last video that she made maybe about a week ago. And it's staying true to yourself. And that video just stirred up so many things in me. I can't even tell you. It transported me back to the year of 1971. I was 16 at the time. I graduated high school when I was 17. And I was going into my senior year. And my junior year, let me back it up. Back then, you basically had three things you were going to be in life. Four. A nurse, a teacher, a housewife, or a secretary. Nurse was out of the question. Didn't like science at all. Teacher, forget it. Wasn't even smart enough. That wasn't even an option. And a housewife, that was like down the road. I didn't even think of that. So for me, it was secretarial training. So in my junior year, we had to, in order to pass on to the next grade, we had to type 80 words a minute. No, we had to type 60 words a minute and shorthand at 80 words a minute. So I thought, okay, senior year is going to be a piece of cake. It's going to be fun, filled with skipping days and going to the beach and senior parties and everything. So my senior year, I have a teacher by the name of Miss Sidlowski. Let me give you a little mental picture of her. She stood maybe about 4 feet 5. She had curly pin curl tight hair and horn rimmed glasses, and she wore her, her skirts way below the knees, and just a really straight-laced teacher. First day of class, it was like the first week of class. It was basically first bell rings, be in your seat. You better be in your seat before that second bell rings. So I had her for 3 classes. I had her for business, secretarial training, and shorthand. No, shorthand, typing, and secretarial training. So first bell rings, I am going trucking it to her class, right? Because I have her now for 3 classes. I'm halfway in the middle of the class and the second bell rings. I'm right in front of her, and she puts her arm out in front of me, and she says, "Stay right there." So here I am, standing in front of the class, and she proceeds to tell the class, okay, let me back that up. Back then, it was the 60s, the 70s, mini skirts were in, and that was the style. So I had a short umbrella mini skirt on with platform shoes, my little piece choker, my shag haircut, and she proceeded to say to the class, "Tell me, class, would you hire her based on her appearance?" Even now, I think of it, it just makes me weep. So of course, all the girls, I can't even believe I'm crying, like 40 years later. They all put their head down, nobody said anything. Of course, I had my books in my hand, and I just do what I do. I booked it out of the room. I can't believe this. Anyway, sorry. So, I went to the principal's office, and I had said what she said, how she humiliated me in front of the class, and I wanted to go home. So I went home, and then I knew the next day I had to go back to class. So she was spoken to by the principal, and nothing really ever became of it. till halfway through the year, she pulled me into the class, pulled me aside in class and said, I was in danger of not graduating because in your senior year, you now had to dictate at 120 words a minute and typing with 100 words a minute. So I was like, okay, well, what do I need to do in order to graduate? Because I have to graduate. So she says, I want you to come to class every day, and I want you to be here at 7 o'clock every day for the rest of the year. So that's what I did, and I went to class, took the 6 o'clock bus every morning to school, and sat in her class, and we'd have little headphones, and she'd have a little stopwatch, and I'd be doing my dictation and typing and everything, and I was determined I was going to pass. So, I can understand how you felt, Julie, about, being critiqued, and the students, kind of banded against you. And I hope someday you can rectify it with her. You can, because you have the power, you're in that classroom. So you can make little statements here and there, how, just because we make a mistake, you don't need to be judged on it and let it go. And I'm sure you'll work it out to where those girls will love you and you will make an impact on their life down the road, just like Miss Sidlowski did. She really did. Graduation day, there's a knock on the door. And my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, sitting there, and I got my cap and gown on, I'm all ready to go to, graduation. And there's a knock on the door. And there was the most beautiful dozen of red roses I've ever seen. And they were from Mr. Sidlowski. My husband, he gets furious every time I bring up the story because he knows of such a turmoil and everything I went through. But you find a way, I found a way. I graduated, and I became a better person for it because it opened so many doors for me. Throughout the years, I became a medical secretary, worked for several doctors to get me around a phone and office. I am in action and professional to the hilt. So she instilled a lot of good qualities, and she brought that inner strength out in me that, sure, it humiliated me and stuff, but it made me stop and think. But that's all the clothes I had at that time, but it made you stop and think down the road. When you go into a meeting, you dress professionally. And, and now I do that, of course, because I'm an adult now. I'm not 16. I'm not some little free spirit kid. I just wanted to share that with you, Julie, that, you will impact them somehow, some way. So, just like Miss Sidlowski did. 20 years later, I moved to Arizona, I come back like 15 years later, there's a big write-up in the newspaper how Miss Sidlowski had just retired at like 48 years of teaching, And she had a caretaker taking care of her, and it was a real big write-up in the paper about it. So I hand-wrote her a note telling her how she changed my life, and I didn't even know if she would remember me, and she wrote me back saying she did remember me, and she was happy for me. So anyways, I thought I'd share that with you to greenlight your day, so whatever obstacles we have along the way, we work through them. And I'm sure you're an awesome teacher. So, much love to you and all you Greenlight the Day peeps. I love you all. Last time I spoke to you all, it was, I think it was like the week before Christmas. So I hope you all had a happy holidays and Happy New Year to you, everybody. And I will see you next month. Thanks so much for watching. And I don't have a quote, so I'll give you a one-liner. Life is short. Lick the ball, baby. Have a great day. I love you all. Bye.